M0FXB, welcome back to the... I had a question. How do I import repeater channels into my DMR radio? But this would work with a D-Star or C4FM radio. So massive thank you to Repeater Book, highly recommended. Lots of good help here, information and tips. So thank you very much to Repeater Book. So firstly, let me show you the code plug for my Anytone 878. Okay, so I'll click that, and this is my Anytone 878. It's blank at the moment. So if you look at the top, it says Tools, and one of these selections is Import. Click OK. And on the top left here, it says Channels. And you can see we've got no channels at the moment. So let's minimize that. Go back to Repeater Book. I will say, I feel it's better to get a ready-made code plug so that you can do, import all the repeaters, and as you're traveling around the country, you've got all the repeaters in your area. In the DMR terms, they call it roaming. I've never used that, but if that's what you're looking for, then I would borrow a code plug and then just add, use the bits that you like. And there's no easy way to do this. You're not going to get a DMR radio, and easily import all the repeaters that you like and just use them. It's never going to be that simple. But of course you need you need a ham radio license, you need your DMR number straight away, because that's got to go into the programming software. So if you look here on the left, okay, it says here, rest of the world repeater. So Repeater Book, rest of the world's about 6 down, just here, click that. You get this window here, and the quickest way is to click your country. So I'm going to click UK. And you get this nice list here that just populates. And there's a lot of, different bands, different modes. It's all here, but I'm just going to click DMR. Okay. And we've come up with this list here. Now I'm going to go at the top here. It says export. I'm going to go down to Anytone. Go across now. If you look here, you've got CSV, Icon, Kenwood, Radiology, RT Systems, Yaesu. But anyway, these are the choices you've got. I'm going to go across. I've got an Anytone 878. So I'm going to go down to 878, and it says channel file. I'm going to click it. And we've got some choices here. Now, I haven't really changed anything, but what I will do is, it says here memory name 2. I'm just going to put in frequency. Order. I'm going to put in location city, and I'll probably put at the top location city as well. And then I'm going to download. Okay. Now that's created a file at the top. Now I'll go back to my code plug and go to at the top here. Make sure you can see. Go to Tool, Import. Click OK. Channel on the left. Select that file. And I can't share this file. You have to go to Repeater Book and get your file. And then go Import. And it imports that file. Remember, we got a blank code plug here. If you've never used a code plug, it's software that we're looking at right now that sends all the data, settings, information to your DMR radio, and it will be exactly as you have learnt, as you have decided. The software, the radio does not do anything for you, and that's why DMR is a massive learning curve, and most people will just borrow this pre-made, add their call sign DMR number, pick the bits they like, and use them. Yeah, that's what most people do. So on my DMR radio, I might use I think I use like 6 different channels, and that's it, because I'll use my hotspot. I'll use the tool 3 repeaters near me, and I might, don't forget, DMR radios do VHF, UHF, and normal analog mode, so you can chat with your friends on your repeater. Not DMR, not digital, and it works really well. Anyone that ever says to you that DMR radios don't work well as a normal radio, complete rubbish. They work really well. So anyway, we've just clicked import complete. So we click OK. Now watch what happens here. Hopefully it worked just now, all the channels appeared. So yeah, there they are there. So I had to, if you look up here, click to channel at the top, yeah, because we were on the import. So these channels were not there before. Okay. So now this still doesn't get you everything you want, because if we go to channel number 1, yeah, which is a digital channel, it says it clearly here, and double click it, it's automatically telling you that it will, when you transmit, it will go to contact number 1. Okay, contact number 1 is basically the talk group number. So you have to decide, because don't forget, just because you're connected to a repeater or your hotspot, you still have to, when you transmit, you still have to say to it, when I transmit, go use talk group, which is popular, 91. So what you'd have to do is go across on the left here, yeah, and I'm going to show a separate video of importing your contact list. Go to, let's find it, there's such a long list on it. Okay, I found it, digital contact list, and ours is blank, yeah? So you would have to, you'd have to create it. So here's contact, and let's call it worldwide 91. World, and what a lot of people do, they actually put in number 9, world, and I'll explain that in a minute, wide 91. It's a group call, yeah? Groups means you just chat to everyone. Everyone can join that group. Private is one-to-one, and it's commands as well. But generally, it's one-to-one, which hardly anyone uses anyway. Then you've got the number, which is the crucial one, because the name, you could call it Superman. It doesn't matter the name. What actually matters is the number, because imagine that DMR is like phone numbers. Your phone number is your DMR number. The talk group number is 91. It's like phone numbers. It's a commercial system. So that's it. We've created that. Click OK. And I will create one more called, they call it local. Okay. And again, we'll call it group. And we'll give it number 9. Okay. Click OK. So what people do is you can manually dial with radios as well, and using local. So number 9 just links your radio to your hotspot or repeater. It's the same thing. And when you key, it allows you to, to type the number of the talk group you want to connect to first. I believe you hold down the 0 on the Anytone, type the number, key the mic, and then what it will do, it will forget the fact that it's talk group 9, and it will use the number that you've just typed, and that's called manual dialing. And a lot of people do that. Can you see what I mean by they quite often only create a few channels? So a lot of people, I get a question probably every other day, how do I get all my repeater lists? Because people are imagining and comparing a DMR radio to a normal VHF, UHF radio where you can just, get a load of memories and chuck them in and it's all done. It's not like that with DMR, unfortunately. So you can see we've added talk group 9 as well. So now if I go back to the channel that I was tinkering with, so up here, look at all these different settings. Go back to channel, double click it. I'm just going to do number 1, yeah? I can now, if you go here where it says contacts, I can now, well, it's not showing yet, select number 9. I'm just going to see why it's not showing. Okay, I can see why it didn't show. I clicked the wrong one. It says here digital contact list. That's actually the people, yeah? That's the wrong one. So we go back up and just click back, and it's contact talk group. There it is here. So when I say people, that's like your DMR number, my DMR number. That's what the contact digital list is. And yes, you can import that. So we'll go to contact talk group just here. Hopefully you can see that now. And that's where I should have entered exactly the same information, which you're seeing at the top there. So now when we go to channel and double click the number 1 channel, click contact, and now we can choose, say, well, talk group 91, double click it, it appears here. So now when we're on that channel and we transmit on 438525, it's showing here digital, it will talk to that contact. And it shows it here. So you're still going to have to go in and change all the contacts. Now, I suppose you could set them all to contact number 9 and then do the whole manual dial thing. I haven't actually done that, but I think that's probably a sensible thing to do. Let's just try that because I'm just interested to see if that will work. So if I go back to contact and delete, and now I am experimenting now, by the way. How do you delete these things? Let's click, right click, delete. There you go. So right click, delete. I do like so. Let's change that to 9. So we just call it local 9. Click OK. So now we've only got 9 in there. Let's go back to channel. Yeah, look, it's forced to use 9. So that's not such a bad idea because at least then you could go on to say, let's just choose a 2-meter one at random. You know it's set to 9, yeah? So when you key, it's going to use 9. So what you would do, if I just grab my radio and see if I can show you how that works. And it's an Anytone. So at the bottom on the Anytone, you hold down the 0. Then you type in the number. So we'll type in 91. There we go, 91. And you want to make sure that it's going to be group. And the way you change it to group is you just press the hash. Yeah, just press the hash. It changes to group or private. Then you just key the mic. You just literally just key the mic, and it's going to transmit on that. So give that a go, and you can see I'm learning myself. But someone asked me the question, how do I import channels? And I thought, okay, let's answer it, because I always just get a code plug from someone that's already made one, because I'm a cheat as well. It's because I mean, look at it. I mean, it's like, look at all these different settings. And just regarding your number, if you go to radio ID list here, see it there, double click, that's where you would put in your DMR number, 2341437. Double click it, and then here you go. So it's 2341437. Underneath you put your call sign. But to be honest, the call sign actually doesn't matter in this case because the DMR system will pick it up from your number anyway. So that's where you put in your number, and of course you're not going to do anything. But if you go to look at the tools, look at all this. You can do your firmware, you can bring in a boot picture, talk alias. Have you learnt about talk alias, where you don't even the information is transmitted on the actual signal as long as the other station has turned on talk alias. It's transmitting your call sign, your location, your name, and partially your your address in the signal. So that learn about talk alias. So I think that's enough for now, because I know how with DMR you are, when you go, right, I'm going to get a DMR radio, you are taking on, in my opinion, the most the most complicated system of using radio. But if you borrow a code plug, yeah, if you borrow a code plug with everything on it, you're up and running in 10 minutes. So don't let me put you off. And it's fascinating to know that you can just use your software and just send everything to this radio. And it's a dual band radio. It's got GPS, Bluetooth, even this roaming thing that I've never done. And how, it's a gorgeous radio. And when you talk to people, it sounds great. It sounds fantastic. So let me just show. So here's my 878. And here's the hotspot I'm going to put in the description for you. They're only about £45 delivered. Again, there's a learning curve to everything. So that is connecting to the internet. But see the small antenna here? That is radio. That's actually radio, and it's going from here to here. So I know there's no distance. Yeah. But imagine that this could be a repeater on a hill. Instead of putting the frequency of the repeater, you put in the frequency of this hotspot. So you talk to this connects to the internet. Well, a repeater on a hill does the same thing. Imagine they've got, and I'm sure it's better than this, but they've got something like this connected to their repeater, connecting to the same talk groups. So not having a hotspot is madness. If you've got a DMR radio and you don't have a hotspot, you might as well put the DMR, in my opinion, you might as well put it in the cupboard, because having to keep using the repeater all the time when there's lots of other people that want to use the repeater, and then you have to change which talk group you want to connect to, because you can do that with a repeater. Yeah, well, that affects other people. When you've got your own personal hotspot, you can connect to anything you want to, and no one can say a word to you as long as you follow etiquette and give you a ham radio call sign. So that's it, and you can hear it in the background. I'm going to sit here now listening to that, or you can get yourself a super hotspot with a big screen from DV Mega. Sorry about the delay on the audio. I noticed that there is a bit of a delay. But anyway, bye for now. 7-3. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks to Repeaterbook and Bridgecom as well, Bridgecom System.